Coach Lemonis back here at Bart Kaufman Field with the Minnesota Golden Gophers here for a 3-game set this weekend. Let's go off some of the momentum that you have coming in. First, last weekend, 3 games against Purdue, but 3 very good starting pitching outings from Steve Hobby and Paulie Milto. Second straight week that you've had some good weekend starts. Ideally, that can carry over this weekend.
I think that'll be huge. I mean, it's a really experienced, mature lineup for Minnesota. I think it'll be a pretty big atmosphere, and for our guys to go out there and give us good starts is going to be a huge piece of the weekend.
Bullpen-wise, maybe not ideal against Purdue, but then against Indiana State, a win, 2-zip, the second shutout of the year. You got 6 shutout innings from 3 different lefties out of the bullpen, and then Tim Herron as the starter went 3 shutout as well, but with Cam Beecham, Andrew Saalfrank, and then in Austin Foote to wrap things up from really nice showing from some southpaws you had.
Well, we're growing in that area. We knew when you have a young pitching staff, sometimes that's the hardest piece to get going. The last couple of years I've been lucky with the Halsteads and the Harrisons and the Kelsers and all the Belcher. I mean, you could just think of all the older kids that we had, and that's where our growing pains have been. But we're past the halfway point. I feel good where we're coming with our bullpen.
Coach, 2 runs against Indiana State on Tuesday in that shutout win. Logan Sowers had one of the RBIs with the double. He seems to start – he's finding himself offensively. One of those you knew it was coming, but now it seems to be showing on the field. How much does that help your lineup?
Well, it's huge. I mean, it gives us a little more depth to our lineup, and it's one of our better hitters. And you know it's going to come. The game of baseball. Usually, if you struggle a little bit, then you'll get some back. And he's starting to play really well right now and have some big hits for us.
Coach, what do you talk to your team about heading into a series like Minnesota, and not only this weekend, but even the next 3 or so weeks with some really tough competition, Big Ten-wise, the opportunity that this baseball team has to move up, the RPI-wise, standings-wise, just everything at stake?
You know, we don't talk too much about that stuff. Every once in a while we'll throw it out there to realize where we're at, but it's all about playing good baseball and preparing to play good baseball. So that's the piece. They have a hard time thinking too far ahead. So some of them don't even know what RPI means. So in that world of where those guys are, just coming out and playing good and doing their job. Everybody, 35 guys, and we got 35 guys that got to do their job, and that'll be a big piece of the weekend. They'll run out here and know that the next 3 weeks with Minnesota and Michigan and Maryland, they have a lot of significance on our season, but it's a great opportunity for us.
Coach, finally, with the weather we have today, and not to jinx it, but this weekend looks nice as well. The past home games a couple weeks back, some terrific crowds to support your team, so expecting just overall a really fun weekend at Bart Kaufman Field.
I think so. I mean, it should be it's great competition. It's going to be a beautiful weather. It's spring in Bloomington, so and it's Easter weekend, so I think it's you'll have a lot of people at the ballpark and a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll be playing well.